This is the Task Force Study Guide, Building Information Systems Lifecycle and Alternatives. We'll talk about Business Process Redesign, page 505. Business Process Redesign. Like Moen described in the chapter opening case, many businesses today are trying to use information technology to improve their business processes. Some of these tech systems entail incremental process change, but others require more far-reaching redesign of business processes. To deal with these changes, organizations are turning to business process management. Business process management, or BPM, provides a variety of tools and methodologies to analyze existing processes, design new processes, and optimize those processes. BPM is never concluded because process improvement requires continual change. Companies practicing business process management go through the following steps. Again, the highlight for this section is business process redesign. Identify process for change. One of the most important strategic decisions that a firm can make is not deciding how to use computers to improve business processes, but understanding what business processes need for improvement. When systems are used to strengthen the wrong business model or business processes, the businesses can become more efficient at doing what it should not do. As a result, the firm becomes vulnerable to competitors who may have discovered the right business model. Consider Considerable time and cost may also be spent improving business processes that have little impact on overall firm performance and revenue. Managers need to determine what business processes are the most important and how improving these processes will help business performance. 2. Analyze existing processes. Existing business processes should be modeled and documented, noting inputs, outputs, resourcing, and the sequence of activities. The business process or the process design team identifies the redundant steps, paper-intensive tasks, bottlenecks, and other inefficiencies. Figure 13.1.2 illustrates the as-is process for purchasing a book from a physical bookstore. Consider what happens when a customer visits a physical bookstore and searches its shelves for a book. If he or she finds the book, that person takes it to the checkout counter and pays for it via credit card, cash, or check. If the customer is unable to locate the book, he or she must ask a bookstore clerk to search the shelves or check the bookstore's inventory records to see if it is in stock. If the clerk finds the book, the customer purchases it and leaves. If the book is not available locally, the clerk inquires about ordering it for the customer from the bookstore's warehouse or from the bookstore's distributor or publisher. Once the ordered book arrives at the bookstore, a bookstore employee telephones the customer with this information. The customers would have to go to the bookstore again to pick up the book and pay for it. If the bookstore is unable to order the book for the customer would have to try another bookstore. You can see that this process has many steps and might require the customer to make multiple trips to the bookstore. Figure 13.3 Redesign process for purchasing a bookstore. Okay, so that was the end of page 1. So now we're moving to page 2. Point number 3, design the new process. Once the existing process is mapped and measured in terms of time and cost, the process design team will try to improve the process by designing a new one. A new streamlined to-be process will be documented and modeled for comparison with the old process. Figure 13.3 illustrates how the book purchasing process can be redesigned by taking advantage of the internet. The customer accesses an online bookstore over the internet from his or her computer. He or she searches the bookstore's online catalog for the book he or she wants. If the book is available, the customer orders the book online, supplying credit card and shipping address information, and the book is delivered to the customer's home. If the online bookstore does not carry the book, the customer selects online bookstore and searches for the book again. This process has far fewer steps than that for purchasing the book in a physical bookstore, requires much less effort on the part of the customer, and requires less sales staff for customer service. The new process is therefore much more efficient and time-saving. Access online bookstore. Search online catalog, book available, yes or no, enter data, payment, receive book in mail, select other bookstore. Okay, so that was me explaining figure 13 Point 3, redesign process for purchasing a book online. So design needs to be justified, or the new process design needs to be justified by showing how much it reduces time and cost or enhances customer service and value. Management first measures the time and cost of existing processes as the baseline. And in our example, the time required for purchasing a book from physical bookstore might range from 15 minutes if the customer immediately finds what he or she wants to 30 minutes if the book is in stock. But it has to be located by a sales staff. If the book has to be ordered from another source, the process might take 1 or 2 weeks and another trip to the bookstore for the customer. The customer lives far away from the bookstore, the time to travel to the bookstore would have to be factored in. The bookstore will have to pay the costs for maintaining a physical store, keeping the book in stock, and for sales staff on site, and for the shipment costs if the book has to be obtained by another location. The new process for purchasing a book online might only take several minutes. Although the customer might have to wait several days or a week to receive the book in the mail, it will have to pay a shipping charge. But the customer saves time and money by not having to travel to the bookstore or make additional visits to pick up the book. Booksellers' costs are lower because they do not have to pay for the physical store location or for local inventory. Implement the new process. Point 2. Once the new process has been thoroughly modeled and analyzed, it must be translated into a new set of procedures and work rules. New information systems or enhancements to existing systems may have to be implemented to support to the redesign process. The new process and supporting systems are rolled out into the business organization. As the business starts using this process, problems are uncovered and addressed. Employees working with the process may recommend improvements. Point 3. Continuous measurement. Once a process has been implemented and optimized, it might need to be continually measured. Why? Process may deteriorate over time as employee falls back to old methods, or they may lose their effectiveness if the business experiences other changes. Although many process improvements are incremental and ongoing, there are occasions when more radical changes must take place. Our example of a physical bookstore redesigning the book purchasing process so that it can be carried out online is an example of this type of radical, far-reaching change. When properly implemented, business process redesign produces a dramatic gains in productivity and efficiency. It may even change the way the business is run. In some instances, it drives a paradigm shift that transforms the nature of the business itself. So this was point 4. Point 5. This actually happened in book retailing when Amazon challenged traditional bookstores, physical bookstores, with its online retail model. By radically rethinking the way a book can be purchased and sold, Amazon and other online bookstores have achieved remarkable efficiencies, cost reductions, and a whole new way of doing business. BPM, business process model, poses challenge. Are we sure it's business process model? Business process management. Sorry. Um, Business process management poses a challenge. Executives, this is the last point, executives report that the largest single barrier to successful business process change is organizational culture. Employees do not like unfamiliar routines and often try to resist change. This is especially true for projects when organizational changes are often ambitious and far-reaching. Managing change is neither simple nor intuitive, and companies committed to extensive process improvement need a good change management strategy. See Chapter 14. Last paragraph of page 2. Systems development, systems analysis, page 509. What are the core activities in the system development process? New information systems are an outgrowth of a process of organizational problem solving. A new IS is built as a solution to some type of problem or set of problems the organization perceives it is facing. The problem may be in which managers and employees realize that the organization is not performing as well as expected, or that organization should be at advantage of new opportunities to perform more successfully. The activities that go into producing an information system solution to an organizational problem or opportunity are called systems development. Systems development is a structured kind of problem solved with distinctive activities. These activities consist of systems analysis, systems design, programming, testing, conversion, and production and maintenance. Figure 13.4, so this is page 3, illustrates the systems development process. The systems development activities depicted usually take place in sequential order, but some of the activities may need to be repeated, or some may take place simultaneously, depending on the approach to system building that is being employed. See section 13.4. So systems analysis, systems design, programming, testing, conversion, production, maintenance are all part of the systems development. Systems analysis is the analysis of the problem that a firm tries to solve within IS. It consists of defining the problem, identifying its cause, specifying the solution, and identifying the information requirements that must be met by the system solution. So that is systems analysis. Okay. The analysis of a problem that a firm tries to solve within an information system. It consists of defining the problem, identifying its causes, specifying the solution, and identifying the information requirements that must be met by a system solution. Feasibility study. Okay. The systems analyst creates a roadmap of the existing organization and systems, identifying the primary owners and users of data along with the existing hardware and software. Systems analyst then details the programs or the problems of existing systems by examining documents, work papers, and procedures, observing systems operations, interviewing key users of the systems, and analysts can identify the problem areas and objectives a solution would achieve. Often the solution requires building a new IS or improving the existing one. The systems analysis is also includes a feasibility study. This is on the exam. To determine whether the solution is feasible or achievable from a financial, technical, and organizational standpoint, the feasibility study, this is on the exam, determines whether the proposed system is expected to be a good investment, whether the technology needed for the system is available and can be handled by the firm's IS specialists, and whether the organization can handle changes introduced by the system. Normally, the systems analysis process identifies several alternative solutions that the organization can pursue, assess the feasibility of each. A written systems proposal report describes the costs and benefits and advantages and disadvantages of each alternative. It is up to management to determine which mix of costs, benefits, technical features, and organizational impacts represents the most desirable alternative. So information requirement systems design. So this is the end of page 3. So we're moving to page 4. So this is going to be on the exam, information requirements and system design. Perhaps the most challenging task of the system analyst is to define the specific information requirements that must be met by the chosen system solution. At the most basic level, the information requirements, this is on the exam, information requirements of a new system involves identifying who needs what information, where, when, and how. Requirements analysis carefully defines the objectives of the new or modified system and develops a detailed description of the functions that the new system must perform. Faulty requirement analysis is a leading cause of system failures and high systems development costs. See Chapter 14. A systems design around the wrong set of requirements will either have to be discarded because of poor performance or will need to undergo major modification. Section 13.3 describes the alternative approaches to eliciting requirements that help minimize the problem. Systems design. This is on the exam. Systems analysts describe what a system should do to meet information systems, and systems design, this is on the exam, shows how the system will fulfill this objective. The design of an information system is the overall plan or model for that system, like the blueprint of a building or house. It consists of all the specifications that give the system its form and structure. The systems designer details the system's specifications that will deliver the functions identified during systems analysis. This specifications would address all managerial, organizational, technological components of the system solution, lists the types of specifications that would be produced during system design. Like house or buildings, information systems may have many possible designs. Each design represents a unique blend of all technical and organizational components. Which makes one design superior to others is the ease and efficiency which it fulfills user requirements within a specific set of technical, organizational, financial, and time constraints. Programming, testing, unit testing. This is on the exam. So I will stop here and save this video. This is page 4, and I will begin the next video shortly. We're going to be talking about programming, testing, unit testing, page 513, and this is on the exam.